Hello and welcome to The Real Deal. Now Karen Gillan, her off Doctor Who, is trying to prove her brother ain't done a murder, and instead at the heart of it all is a creepy old looking glass. It's Oculus.
Obviously. Now, if we dare, we gaze into the murky mirror of Oculus. Here's a trailer.
I've met my demons. They are many. I've seen the devil. He is me.
All right, sounds scary, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. Well, scary.
We sent you to watch this.
Yeah.
In your room on your own
Yeah.
with a mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I basically, I watched it in bed last night, and
Came here shaking.
yeah, I'm not ashamed to admit I slept with the light on, and that, as testament to the quality of a horror movie, I think says it all.
Yeah.
It's really scary.
Is it?
Scary it is.
Or are you just a wuss?
No, honestly, I thought that because I'm pretty good with horror stuff. I don't really sort of blanch at that kind of thing. Oh, Oculus! I tell you, it's not particularly gory as horror films go. It's very psychological. It's
Messes with your mind.
well, it does, and it messes with the characters' minds. What's interesting is you have the two story strands. So you have Karen Gillan and her brother as young kids before a hideous event, and then afterwards trying to prove it was the mirror after he is subsequently released from a psychiatric unit. And those two strands are going on. But also at the same time as that, those two strands start to merge, and the characters don't know what's really happening and what's in their mind
God, my head hurts even thinking
due
about
to
it.
the creepy mirror. It's actually, it sounds complicated. It's pretty easy to follow.
Okay.
And it's genuinely creepy because you see them do something, you think, oh no, but did that really happen? Did they? And they don't know.
Yeah.
It's really interesting in terms of a horror film. It's largely just set in one fairly bog standard suburban house, and it's a really, as a premise, I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Talking about the central performances as well, Karen Gillan especially is fantastic. American accent in that, absolutely great. And she plays this paranoid, highly strung girl who's gone through something terrible. So you ultimately think, did she? Well, maybe she's in the wrong, and maybe it is all in her head. But oh no, maybe it's not. Really interesting. Genuinely frightening as well. It relies on tricks of the mind rather on the visuals, and that's what makes a good horror in my book.
So Karen Gillan, she's doing well at the moment. Is there, she's doing lots of good films and things. Is there anyone that actually let the cast down a little bit?
I don't think so. Across the board, it's really good performances.
Wow. Why do you think it didn't do that well theatrically?
I've got no idea. What are people thinking? I didn't get to see it theatrically, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I really did. If I'm really nitpicking and looking for what I think is bad about this film, maybe some people might find the multi-stranded element of it difficult to handle. So the bit with, okay, it's jumping between then and 11 years later, but hang on, those are mixing, and is that really happening or isn't it happening? But to be honest, that's the heart of the story. If you can't follow that, then,
So is this something for what we should tell these guys at home is it something to take for a Friday night? You got the girls round or you got the boys round or whatever, and you're like, oh, let's just stay in and watch a horror movie.
I think it plays to lots of audiences. I think my mates would love it. I think Girls' Night In would love it. Pillow fights and all that sort of thing that you guys get up to. I also think it's a really good couples movie as well, because at the end, there's a big talking point where, there is potential to go, oh, well, hang on, but...
Oh, you don't want to start a domestic.
But I thought it was really interesting. As I say, some people might have problems with the multi-stranded nature of it. I personally thought that's the heart of the story. Also, real gore-hungry horror aficionados might think it's a little bit tame for them, but to be honest, I think psychological thrillers are all the more scary.
Okay, so it sounds like a winner. We don't often, see those good horror films, Annabelle, whatever. What's the real deal on this?
The real deal on Oculus is it has a really interesting premise at its heart. It's not just a film about a creepy old mirror. There's lots of different strands that all intersect and interweave and trip you and the character up. Really good central performances as well. really, really well judged in terms of its psychological thrills and spills, with just enough actual gore to get the bloodthirsty among you to really sort of get on board with it. I absolutely loved it. No idea why it didn't do better theatrically. I think loads of people will love it. Get it on DVD, and it's a 4.5-star film.
Wow, there we go. So that is The Real Deal on Oculus. You guys can check out more of our reviews on therealdealonfilm.com and chat to us on Twitter as well, @The Real Film Show. Thanks for watching.